Good morning. As we mentioned previously, Chazal mandated that in addition to the bittul chametz, to the nullification of the chametz, we also need to perform a bedikas chametz, a search for any chametz remaining. The reason for this, as mentioned, is that in case we find chametz on Pesach, we may come to eat it. And so we want to destroy any chametz within our possession. However, the search for the chametz is, of course, only a means to an end. The real obligation in the searching is to find the chametz and destroy it. We therefore want to make sure that there is no chametz remaining in our possession, and we fulfill our obligation of tashbisu, the positive commandment to destroy that which is within our possession, which in this case is, of course, done on the following morning, on Friday morning this year. One ramification of this setup is presented within the bracha that we recite. Prior to performing the Bedikas Chametz, we recite the bracha not of al Bedikas Chametz, but al Biur Chametz, on the burning of the Chametz. Because this is a recognition that really the Bedikas Chametz is the beginning of the process of the burning of the Chametz. And hence there is no formal bracha reciting during the burning of Chametz itself. It is all recited at the beginning of the process done prior to the Bedikas Chametz. As is with the case with any mitzvah, if one forgets the bracha or recites the wrong text of the bracha, one nonetheless fulfills their obligation. The Mishnah Berurah even points out that if one recites the bracha of al bittul chametz, on the nullification of the chametz, rather than al biur chametz, they need not even repeat the bracha, and they b'diavad do fulfill their obligation of the bracha. A couple of other notes in regards to the bracha being recited is that one, in regards to speaking between the bracha, typically we know one may not speak between the reciting of a bracha and performing that mitzvah, that action. And that is true as well with bedikas chametz. One may not interrupt between the recitation of the bracha and the beginning of the performance. However, this mitzvah is different because it is a process. It is not a one quick, brief action. It is a process that may sometimes take a couple minutes or even longer. And if that's the case, hopefully longer. And if that's the case, then at what point may or may we not interrupt? So b'diavad, strictly speaking, one may not speak between the bracha and the beginning of the search. And if one does, they in fact would have to repeat the bracha if it is something unrelated to the search itself. However, once they began the process, b'diavad, technically speaking, one may speak during the rest of the process once they have begun. However, it is strongly advisable that one refrain from any conversation throughout this process of bedikas chametz, other than that, of course, related to the bedikas chametz itself. So again, this year we will perform the bedikas chametz on Thursday night and the biur chametz on Friday morning, with the bracha prior to the bedikas chametz being recited of al biur chametz, because it is the beginning of the process of the burning of the chametz. If one forgets or recites the wrong bracha, one still fulfills their obligation and their mitzvah of doing the bedikas chametz, and one should refrain from speaking certainly between the bracha and beginning the search, and really recommended and advisable throughout the search of the Bedikas Chametz process. Have a great day.